And here we go, Digital Adele back with another Digital Adele Hoops Beyond the Backboard podcast for you with my co-host Matt Hanifan. Are you staying safe out there in that hailstorm, Matt?
Yeah. I was telling Adele before we logged on for the people that there was a hailstorm like 15 minutes ago. Not great.
No.
Not great, but it looks like it's past now. I say that Mother Nature's just gonna
That's right. There's
do.
going to be a piece of hail that goes right through that
Yeah,
window. And
right. Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
big thing of hail is just
Hopefully
gonna
not.
come knock me in the noggin. But
Hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. Well, but behind the scenes, I mean, here in Florida, like we've had some pretty big stretches of like drought, and it's been like a really dry season. Well, we're in full. It is because now we're in full hurricane season mode. A big storm came by the other day, just dumped all kind of water. Turns out I have a leak in my roof. No idea. So now I got to get that fixed. So
yeah,
we're off to a rocket start. We got hailstorms. We've got leaky roofs from severe flooding. Not really flooding, but just a very hard rain. But it'll be fine. I mean, it's part of being an adult. It's part of life. Now I got to go pay a roofer to get my roof fixed. But hopefully the whole thing doesn't have to be replaced. We're in the weeds. We're not here to talk about roofs. We're not here to talk about my unkempt hair and beard and mustache. We're here to talk about Chicago Bulls rookies. The rookies only segment for Chicago Bulls. Who did they draft, Matt?
they drafted Noah Osengay.
Is he
And
good?
then they drafted Lachlan Ulbrich, who we've talked plenty about. We've talked about both guys a bunch, but
Yeah.
today we're just going to be
I saw them both
rehashing
in person too.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Noah Senge? Or is it Osenge or Sengu?
It doesn't matter at this point. Actually, it does matter. But
It probably matters.
yeah, we're brushing that to the side. I'm just gonna say Noah. For the people. Noah was like his summer league was obviously the only thing that people are gonna remember was the poster.
Wait, there was a poster? I've never seen such things.
It's really tough when the most memorable moment of your summer league, of your first NBA experience, is you just getting yammed on by someone else. Just a tough look. It doesn't matter where you're picked. It doesn't matter who you are. It's tough luck.
That's right. It was really tough. And not only was it just him getting yammed on, but it was in the manner in which he got yammed on. And the picture that went viral of him getting yammed on.
Exactly. Exactly.
E drops by and he says, "What's good, fam? Everyone like and subscribe." That's right. Be like E. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate you. But yeah, so everybody's going to remember that dunk. I mean, it's the dunk of Summer League. It's probably the most memorable play of Summer League. I can't think of a play where people are going to talk about it more than it was. Matter of fact, when it happened in the game, we'll take people back. I was in Las Vegas. I saw it live. But live, you couldn't see his face. So I didn't know what happened. Now, the family, because they were playing the Boston Celtics, right?
No, it was the Pacers.
No. It was the game before. They were playing the Pacers. The Celtics were up next.
Yeah, it was
Jordan Walsh. Jordan Walsh's family members were in the stands for the Boston Celtics. They're waiting for the next game because they were going to see their son play. And so I got to meet Mr. Walsh, great guy. And he was one of the people that was like, "Yo, check this out." And he like, we were just all like, "Oh my God, that's insane." And so we were marveling at the dunk, but then the angle came out where it showed his face and it just kept snowballing from there. It was a wild time, live and much later. But the one play isn't going to make or break the young man. Hopefully not. I mean, hopefully he hasn't been Frederick Weiss. But let's talk about, what did you see from the rest of his game outside of this?
I thought he was okay. Like, I think our pre-draft eval was like he's still very raw. We
Right.
still have questions about the role that he's going to be utilized in, not even just in summer league, but in like an NBA, in an
Right.
NBA setting. He shot 42%, averaged 12.7 points, 5.3 rebounds, 1.3 steals. Shot just 26%, 26.7% from deep, which is another big question that I had heading in.
Same.
Because like he was utilized in this weird way overseas. I don't think that's going to be necessarily how he's used at the NBA level. He has, solid athleticism, not great, not terrible. Um, he shot just 61.5% from the free throw line. I think his shot just needs a lot of work.
Right.
But you saw like there were maybe small glimpses here and there of like, okay, there might be something, there might not be. Like he's not a terrible play finisher yet. Cutter off. He's going to be operating off ball a lot, and so he's just going to have to get better in that facet all around.
Yeah, for
Again,
sure.
defensively, 1.3 steals, like passing lanes. Um, I still think he's kind of a weird fit defensively on the ball. Like I'm still not sure what position he's going to be defending consistently at the next level yet, but
Right.
uh, I think like again, he's at 18 years old. I think he's going to spend it, most of his season with Windy City. Maybe I'm not sure, just because the Bulls are a weird team and like they might need him at some point during the season, especially if they just want to get him reps.
And by Windy City, you're talking
You mean
about their G League team.
yes, the Windy City Bulls.
Right.
Or at least I would imagine, at least at the start of the season or at some point during the season, he's going to get a bulk of his playing time there just to get him some reps and fine tune some of his skills. But like I think the most important takeaway is like he's just going to need to work on his shot. Um, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I'm glad you pointed it out so I don't look like the hater. Pre-draft, everybody was telling me this guy had bounce like Sean Kemp, and he's not like that. I mean, he's got a little bounce to him, but he's not one of the uber athletes that were in the class. And not to bring up the poster again, but you saw it on the poster where Noah went up and Matas Buzelis just kept going up. And he went up and over the top of him and
You
yammed
mean
on his head.
Furphy?
Oh, that was Johnny Furphy. That's right. Johnny Furphy.
I
Sorry.
say he and Buzelis are teammates.
No, I know. Buzelis and Furphy that whole game were going back and forth dunking on people. Like it was an amazing exhibition. One of my favorite summer league games I've seen in a long time. But yes, Johnny Furphy detonated, just kept going up higher and higher and just yammed all over.
And to Furphy's credit, like he is pretty athletic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the previous draft process when Furphy was coming out,
Yeah.
I don't like to do comparisons, but I was like, the way he yams on people is Tom Chambers like. And if anybody goes back in the archives and looks up Tom Chambers on YouTube, you'll see him dunking on people off 1 foot, just like Johnny Furphy. Furphy had a 1 foot, two-handed dunk in college where he just went right over a guy with two hands. And I was like, oh gosh. But that was like, yeah, Noah's not in that tier of athleticism. The other thing is Noah's not very strong, very skinny.
Yeah,
he's really going to have to work on his body and get an NBA body because he is very frail. He's got a decent touch on his 3-point shot. The issue I have with him, he's not on balance all the time. Sometimes he's jumping left. Sometimes he's fading away. He's not very consistent with his form. And so he's going to have a lot of work to do in that regard. And the only way I see him really sticking long term, and there's another comp. I don't like doing comps, but god dang it. He reminds me of Noah Clowney so much. He's going to have to really rely on that 3-ball. And where I wanted to start with Noah is the fact that he only had 5.3 rebounds per game. Because again, everybody telling me how his hops were out of this world. He's going to have to do more than just 5.3 rebounds per game because he's not going to be scoring a lot of points. So he's going to have to defend, and he's not really that switchable either. Like his perimeter defense leaves a lot to be desired. I don't know, man. His handles leave a lot to be desired. I'm rooting for the kid, but he's got a lot of work to do. He's more of a project to me than their second-round pick.
You could argue.
and that's Lachlan Ulbrich, who I'd rather talk about. So let's talk about Lachlan Ulbrich. Now, Lachlan's one of those guys in the pre-draft process where it took us a long time to get to his film. And then I know for you, you didn't have very much film to go over for him. Did you watch any of his pre-draft film?
A little bit.
Little bit. Okay. Well, I watched quite a bit. And let me tell you, anybody that's watched us throughout the whole pre-draft process, I saw his tape and I was literally sent Matt a message after I went through his tape. And I was like, holy crap, this kid's a player. And I was like, he just can't jump over a sheet of paper. That was my only gripe. He could dribble with both hands. He could facilitate out of the high post and at the top of the key. He could run pick and roll. He had a very good feel for spatial awareness when running the pick and roll. So good angles. He sets good angles on his screens, opens up correctly, makes himself a big target. And then when he has a nice touch around the basket with either hand, he can shoot a little bit. And
are we
he can
sure?
Shoot a little bit. A little bit. He's got a nice touch. There's a nice touch in there, but the form needs a lot of work. The form itself needs a lot of work.
The percentages aren't good.
No, they're not. But I see it, Matt. I see it. I see it more. Actually, I see it with Noah too. Noah has the potential to be a good shooter. More than Noah Clowney ever did. But but yeah, I think Lachlan's going to be pretty good, man. And he's just very smart, highly intelligent player. What did you see in Summer League since you didn't get to watch a lot of them pre-draft like I did?
Well, no, I mean, it was kind of what you just said. Like something that he was doing a lot was initiating offense. And
a lot.
When he was in the open court, whether it was like in semi-transition, just full transition, whatever, like you saw the handle, you saw his ability to get downhill in space. And that's something that, like, again, like he doesn't have this kind of shooting prowess. Like he shot just 20% in Summer League, albeit on very low 3-point
from
ball.
20%
from three. Yes, from three. His last season overseas, he shot just 20% from three. The season before that, in 54 games, he shot 33% on just 1.2 attempts. Like he's not a shooter. That's something that's going to be something that he's got to work on. But like he does a good job, like closing space. He does a good job. Like again, his court vision, his court awareness was something that I was really impressed with. His handle, his size. He's kind of like a six. He's a 6'10", but like he kind of feels like he operates like a big guard.
Right. That's exactly how it feels.
To some degree. Again, the lack of athleticism. He doesn't really rebound very well, but he's strong. And again, that's something that, like, I don't know if he's going to be able to be like a vertical athlete in the NBA, or at least like an average athlete. Like I think his ceiling is like pretty capped there. But he was a heady player. I do think some of his his physical limitations in terms of his athleticism cap his upside defensively, which I think could make it difficult for him to be on an NBA court for a prolonged period of time at his position. But at his age already, like, I mean, he's 21 years old. He's 240 pounds. He's 6'10". Like, he's strong. He's someone who doesn't mind physicality. Like, he's someone who will be physical with you.
Absolutely.
He knows how to create angles for himself inside the arc, but I just think he's going to need to work on his shooting. And if he doesn't become an efficient shooter, I just wonder what his role is as an NBA player. Like,
I'm glad you asked, Matt.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. Answer the question.
I'm glad you asked that. I can see his role being exactly as you described, because I was blown away by watching in person the amount of responsibility they put on his plate offensively, because they had Yuki Koromora that would come on the court and be the floor general for that team in the Summer League. But they ran a majority of their offense through Lachlan in the high post. They ran a lot of split actions off of him, and then they would go right into pick and roll involving him as well. And they ran the same play like 10 times in one game, where they would they would what is it? It's a curl cut off of him. So like a dribble handoff with a slice cut down the lane. And then he would pivot and go into a pick and roll off of it. They did it like 15 times. And they would run like a 5-out offense with him and Noah on the floor. And so his role to me would be like a hub offensively to get the ball moving and facilitation, because I think there's a lot more to unlock to his game, because he had a pass in Summer League with his left hand, because he's right-handed, where he got double teamed on the sideline as the cutter went through. The guy was trailing him. He goes behind his back with his left hand, hits the guy right in stride for a layup. Like, that's special ball handling and vision for a 6'10" guy.
Yeah.
And so
work on the shot.
100%. I think the shot is key. And not being as good of a rebounder, he's a better rebounder than their first round pick.
Maybe. I could see it.
I think he is. He boxes out better. He plays angles better. Noah's the better athlete. You know who averaged more rebounds in Summer League? This is Lachlan Ulbrich.
By
it wasn't by much.
Yeah, I was going to say by a very small amount.
It wasn't by much.
Pretty equal.
But that being said, I don't think he's a terrible rebounder. Like, Kaman Malawach, I don't think he's going to be a terrible rebounder. He rebounded just as well as Kaman Malawach in Summer League. So I think he's going to be just fine on the boards. It's the shooting. The shooting is his swing skill. So with that, how do you think these guys fit with the Chicago Bulls? Do you think they make an impact this season, or are they Windy City Bulls G League bound for the whole year?
I think they can, especially since they need more guys in the front court. Like last year we saw it. They were it was so weird at the guard position where they had, like, remember at one point they had like 6 or 7 different guards, combo guards, point guards, however you want to decipher it.
Right.
Getting like consistent minutes for them. But I think this year, with Okoro now in the mix, Patrick Williams, like, they're a little bit more balanced, but I think there might be a time later in the season where, you know, they might be out of it or whatever the case is. And I mean, the Bulls don't really tank, but there might be a situation, like, I don't think they're going to be very good anyway. So there might be a situation where they give Austin Gay, 15, 20 minutes. Ulbrich might get some more minutes in the front court behind Vucevic. Like, I still expect them to begin the season in the G League. Or at least that's my best guess. I could be completely wrong with that.
Right.
But I think there is a world, whether it's barring injury, barring underperform, I still think there is a world where they get minutes with the Bulls at some point for a stretch.
I think
you could say that about any prospect. So I just gave you like the most vanilla answer possible, but
it was the most generic answer I've ever heard.
I think that is, like, if I'm just trying to be realistic, like, I think to put a number on it, I think combined they'll get 80 games.
Who do you think plays more minutes by the end of the season?
Total minutes or per game?
Total.
Ooh. I think it'll be Noah.
I think it's going to be Lachlan. And I'm not super confident in my answer. The reason being is because I'm actually very high on Lachlan. I need to temper my expectations a little bit of what he's actually going to do his rookie year. But I could see a world where they need somebody that's super smart, rebounds, won't stop ball movement, and just plays his role. I think Noah requires more touches. He requires the ball more to be effective. And so I could see Noah getting the first crack at minutes and it not being that productive. But I could see Lachlan ultimately getting more minutes by the end of the season. But that's really all we have for the Chicago Bulls today. We're going to keep this segment rolling. Rookies only. All the way through the offseason. All the way through the first month of the NBA exhibition season. And then we'll be right back into 2026 NBA draft coverage. Matt, tell the people where they can find you, follow you, and get more of your work.
You could find me at NPH_824_ on Twitter. You could find me at hotonhoops.com, vendettasportsmedia.com, mountainwestconnection.com, as well as playback.tv/5RSN and playback.tv/digital-hoops.
Right here. And that's where you can find me, Digital Adele, anywhere on social media under that moniker, except for Instagram. There's that little underscore in the middle. So digital_Adele. But everything else is Digital Adele, or on YouTube, Digital Adele Hoops, just like this playback room. That's where we broadcast our show from. But for all the people out there, we'll see you next time. Oh, Amir came in at the last second. Bulls suck. See you, Amir. Thanks for stopping by. See you. Take it easy, man.